here in your home, Paige.
Thank
You were saying this house was built in 1840, and it's in the Columbus Historic District.
It is. I'm on Broadway, which I loved because it reminds me of Savannah because I'm from that part of the world. So.
And you're selling it.
Yes, I am, sadly. I just, I'm an empty nester, and it's time to do something new. So who knows? It's a mystery.
Well, thank you for having us.
Glad.
So I wanted to start in this room because this is the room you come in right off the entrance hall.
Correct.
And so basically all you did in this room, you said, was painted this fabulous greenish blue color.
Yeah, it's kind of a bird's egg color maybe, but I was so excited to see this house come on the market because Frank and Betsy Gerard did a full renovation of it, I think in 2007, and I had visited and seen all the cool things that they did, and it was largely left alone, a lot of details that they did. I did jazz up the paint a little bit because I like color, as you will soon see. And yeah, I painted this room.
Tell me about that. Yeah.
I have taken that with me everywhere I go. It's a drum light fixture. The fabric is by the Italian designer Missoni.
Oh, it's just
And
fabulous.
it just has neat colors. It really adds a lot to a room.
Yeah, because you've got your credenza over there. Your Parsons table picks up on that color, and your pillows.
That was my mother's.
Okay.
When I was growing up, and it's pine, but I had it shellacked or.
So this was pine.
Yeah, I had it powder coated.
Oh,
painted.
wow. Okay,
So,
what a great tip to not be afraid to paint over wood, painted a fun color.
You can always strip it, and actually I think it might look cool stripped.
And tell me about this lamp.
That is one of my favorite items. It's a fox. It's mercury glass, the lamp is. And I used to do a little bit of fox hunting and love a fox. And the shade is dynamite. And I kind of matched the wall to that shade.
Okay.
It's a silk shade from Circa in Atlanta. They have great shades.
And then over the fireplace is William.
Yes, that
And
is
that's your youngest son.
my youngest child. It is a portrait. Actually, I have two. The artist was a graffiti artist, and he took a lot of photographs and went with the one he liked the best. And when he brought it to me, I was like, that's not the one that the image that I liked. So he painted another one for me, which is really sweet. His name's R.C. Higgins. He's an Opelika. And then the carved wooden figures are from.
They kind of look like they're from Indonesia or Bali. Yeah, these you're talking about?
Yes, my great uncle brought those back from the Pacific Rim in World War II. And so my uncle recently gave those to William, which is why they're next to William.
But on this side of the room, you've got this fabulous armoire that hides your television. And then tell me about this ship on the top.
So I think it's an English linen press, which would have been used to store linens and maybe hang clothes like a wardrobe very much. But instead, there's a television and some VCRs and board games and picture books inside. And then I found that ghost ship. I guess it's a model of a galleon. At the Scott Antique Market, and just thought it was a really interesting visual accent to add somewhere. It's just quite large, so it needs space.
Okay, and then on the other side of the room, one side you got William, and over here you've got this beautiful portrait of Vivian, and you represent this artist, correct?
Yeah, yep. I am an associate with Portraits Inc. and have been, for I think it's 20 years this year. And that artist is Fielding Archer. He's out of Virginia, but we represent 120 something artists. So yeah, he came down, and of course he's very different with the heavy brush strokes, and she's literally wearing a little jumper from the Gap. So he said,
oh, it's just the colors are just fabulous.
Well, that's kind of his style. It's super impressionistic, and I think he liked it because she wasn't all like, you know, suited up in church clothes, but that's her personality, and that's really, to me, if you're doing a portrait, that's what they try to capture, is personality.
What I love about your kitchen is it flows right into the room we were in, your family room, but you've kept all, just like in the family room, the original heart pine floor, and it just wears even better with age. And you've got soapstone countertops.
Right. Yeah, the floors actually for the historic district, especially if we in the dining room and at the entrance. I mean, they're like 11-inch wide part pine planks, and you don't see a lot of that left in the historic district. And so they run throughout the whole original part of the house, which ends right here. And we'll go into that later. But yeah, the kitchen was a huge factor in me wanting to buy this house, because I'd seen it when Frank and Betsy did it. This dual fuel 8-burner stove is fantastic. Yeah. Soapstone is maybe my favorite countertop I've ever had. It is almost impossible to destroy. You just oil it every now and then and it looks all shiny, but even if you don't, it's just sort of like this rustic matte. And it's got green tones in it with all this marbling, and so
and then I love how you didn't cover the window so you can see the big old floor, windows here with letting all this light in. And then you were saying these are papyrus that you cut out from your little koi pond.
Yeah, I had the pond
just face with that
serviced and trimmed my papyrus. I love using it in floral arrangement.
That's very pretty. And then on the other side of the room, I love it's kind of a very modern shelf, so you're not afraid to mix things. Like you've got a very modern table, very modern chairs, and this very modern gold shelf. I love that, but all your pretty antique silver.
Yeah, and I actually swapped out the hardware in here with brass to kind of go with the gold. But I think mixing metals is fine. I mean, I think the days of the industrial stainless steel white everything are kind of done. Maybe it's been done to me. It's kind of tired, but no, I love throwing in some edgy stuff. I mean, who wants to feel like they're living in a house on the set in Williamsburg or whatever? So I like to shake it up.
What I love most about this entrance hall is this wallpaper that you have, and it's branches, and it just adds a little interesting backdrop to this room without overbearing color or pattern.
Yeah, and I forget who makes it, but it's a designer wallpaper. But I've seen it other places in different colorways, and it's just super cool. It's a pattern without it's unusual, but it's also not obnoxious, which is nice when you're considering using pattern.
And this entrance hall, so it's a room. I mean, it's big, it's long and wide, so it's allowed you to put multiple chests here, a little bench here.
Oh yes, lots of furnishings. That Dimilune actually came from Historic Columbus, their warehouse 20 years ago.
This one?
And they were just getting rid of furniture people had donated, and I need to have some mechanical work done on it, but it's a cool piece of furniture. That came from the Paris flea market. It's French. They're French scale. I'm not sure for what. And this was a fabulous gilt mirror that, this is a very good story. When I first moved into this house, there were some train tracks out there, and a little short train would come through maybe twice a week in the middle of the day, thank goodness. But I don't know how this house has stood for this many years because everything would shake. And I was in the back one day and heard what sounded like an explosion, ran out here. That mirror had fallen off of being mounted on the wall.
Oh my goodness.
Onto the ground.
Oh no.
Shattered.
Oh no.
And that thus broke the garland off.
That's the missing garland.
Yeah, and it's plaster. It's really hard to find people to repair that. So I thought I'd try to maybe find like an artist to do something funky with it, like knit. The completed garland or something, because I'll never find someone to replicate it, but there it is.
There it is. So on this side of the entrance hall, you've got these three fabulous, what is it, pencil of your children?
They're drawings. I believe those are pencil, but it's, the artist is Liz Lindstrom. I think she's in Colorado or Texas. Anyway, she's also a portraits ink artist.
Of who you represent.
Right, right. And, she's fabulous. She does oils. She does all kinds of medium. But I wanted to I loved her work so much. It's like Renaissance art, her style. And so, you know, this was sort of a low impact way to get my kids when they were still little without the commitment to an oil, you know, a formal oil commission. And they're just so sweet. I mean, he was probably 10, 8, and 3.
Oh. And then on the other side, you've got, is that William?
That's Parker.
That's Parker, and that's another artist you represent.
Right. That this is how I got involved with Portraits Inc. It was because I went to the representative, the associate on St. Simon's, and was so intimidated. Didn't know what
Here's
to
a
think
little
about it.
brochures.
Yeah, it's a nation. I mean, we have reps nationwide, but they have beautiful marketing material for us to leave people to, you know, consider, because it's a lot and it can be very overwhelming, and it's something a lot of people don't know about, which was me when I had this commission. And the artist is Ben Wahlberg, and he was from Maine. I was so scared of him. He was this big, gray-headed, gray-bearded, like intimidating person. And I, in fact, rejected the sketch, and I didn't have to be afraid of him because the representative dealt with it.
Mm-hmm.
But we did another sitting, came back, and it's the likeness. I mean, it's fantastic. I wish I'd just done a bigger one.
Well, it's fabulous.
Thank you.
So your formal dining room, right out the entrance hall, this was a mahogany table that you painted white, right? It was your...
I did. It was my great aunt
Okay.
in Oklahoma, and I just wanted to shake it up a little because, as you can see, it's so much dark wood, and I love it.
But once again, like that coral table we mentioned there, don't be afraid to paint
Yeah,
wood.
you can always have it stripped
Yeah.
if it's actually not veneer, but if it's solid wood.
And then these chairs, it's like a little crochet pattern on your upholstery.
It is. I mean, it's not like bas relief or anything, but yeah, I just like the tobacco color, which is in fact how I ended up with these walls, this color. Funny story, I actually found these chairs on the side of the road when I was driving myself to have Parker. Like, I was in labor, and don't know why I thought it was a good idea to stop and pick up
chairs. And then in the center, you've got this beautiful silver tray all polished up, and just some hydrangeas,
They just dried like that. I'd use those in
pretty.
a photo shoot, floral arrangements.
And then on the other side, it's one of 3 working fireplaces, correct?
Correct. They are ventless gas log fireplaces, and I don't really use them that often, but they do work, and it's kind of fun when we do turn them on. And I love these little Hessian soldiers
down here.
irons are fun. And then
And this is fabulous, this coral.
my mother was sort of like cleaning things out and decided to bring over to me all of her coral that she had collected and seashells, because I grew up on St. Simon's. I'm sure this is highly illegal. Like, they're not supposed to do this, you can't do this anymore. I mean, the coral doesn't need to be collected for decorative purposes. And I got these do you remember when the museum did the big antique show?
Oh, yeah.
I think I got these candelabra. They're French gilded candelabra, and got those at that antique show.
And I love the horse paint, because you are or were a big horseback rider.
Not so much anymore, but yeah.
Not with 2 replaced knees.
No. And they say it's a disease. You either love horses or you're afraid of them. But no, I love an oil, painting.
Okay, so what I think is so interesting is that you said this hunt board was built in Georgia in 1840, the same year as the house.
It is. It was. I've got this at the Scott Show as well, and a friend of mine's mother, who's like a bastion of good taste, said, "Oh, that's fabulous. You should buy it." And I did. And I can't find the piece of paper, but it was built somewhere not far from here. I can't remember what county, but yeah, it's a hunt board that was built in Georgia, so it's primitive, and I like the style.
And then you've got this stencil framed in just acrylic, propped up against it, which I love how you've done something from 1840, and then this
piece
very
of
modern.
art. It's actually from the same graffiti artist that painted William. And he works with stencils. I don't know how he does what he does. It's quite amazing.
It's all cut out.
But it's like a snowflake, and he's got circular patterns, geometric patterns, waves. I mean, he told me, it was falling apart, and when he told me he'd gone through 20 X-Acto knives making this, and I saw how unique it was. He sold it to me, and I had it framed in this acrylic sandwich frame, and it's supposed to be mounted to the wall, but I've yet to really find someone that can do that because it's very technical.
Well, yeah, it's a problem for another day.
Yeah, someday, and then the light will shine through it,
but
and you
it's
can see
just
the pattern, and it's neat.
But that's what I love about your house. You have got all sorts of just things that you love, all sorts of different periods of art and furniture and objects and stuff.
The horse painting from 1800s next to something that was used to make graffiti. So it's fun. It's fun to mix it up.
Yeah. So your master bedroom is fabulous in this green color. Oh my goodness, against this white crisp bedding and your headboards, like little lily pads. Yep. And then all these built-ins. How fun is that?
Yeah, those, so.
More coral.
Yeah, more, I know. It kind of makes me feel guilty, but why, throwing it away would be wasteful. It's very beautiful. And Ed James did the carpentry in here. Okay. He added all this paneling that doesn't exist anywhere else in the house. Mm-hmm. And be careful if you open anything. It might be like the cartoons when everything falls out and like an avalanche.
And then your love of horses and fox hunting over the fireplace, which again is another working fireplace.
It is. I got those in York, in England. They're like Art Deco prints that I had framed at the Cat's Meow. She did a great job. They're very contemporary frames, contemporary artwork, but again, kind of mixes it up.
And then I love these pillows. I've seen these scattered throughout the house.
Yeah.
Different variations and colors, but you said you and Rainer Mullen.
Yeah, we had a retail adventure for like maybe 10 years, and so we carried different lines. Mm-hmm. It was a wholesale line, I can't remember the name, but they're hand embroidered.
Yeah.
Monograms.
Monograms are so pretty.
And William, each of the kids have them, and I do too, but Williams are in the living room.
I saw
because
them.
I didn't want him to ruin them because they're white, so he lost those.
And then this fabulous chandeliers, very, very modern, which I love the juxtaposition.
Yeah, it's like a starburst. It looks like something from Star Wars. I hate to deflate your concept of it, but IKEA.
I love it.
It's IKEA.
I love it, yeah.
Yeah, I can't eat it.
And then once again, the beautiful hardwood floors and your antique Turkish rugs. It's just a very calm, restful place.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah. The fabric I love. I'd actually saved it and waiting to use it for the right thing. It's a design firm called Hable Construction.
This you're talking about?
Yes, and they make really cool fabric patterns, and I think they're in Athens, Georgia.
Okay, that's a good resource.
Yeah.
So we don't often get together bathrooms for Southern Views, our little videos, but this one, I mean, this is so different. We just had to show it. So I love how you've got like this half piece of glass here, and this very modern soaking tub within the shower unit. And you said floor decor.
Yes,
got all your
originally there were 2 pedestal sinks in here and a giant clawfoot tub, and it was really a hassle to take a shower and all, kind of impractical. And so I just thought it would be fun to sort of make, I call it a band shell concept. Some people might call them wet rooms, I don't know. But yeah, the tile guy, Daniel, came in and laid down the patterned floor, and then I went with just a dramatic black and white plan.
And then you just, picked up on all the black shiny paint, high lacquer paint on your trim.
And a herringbone pattern on the marble to kind of break up the subway tile stack. And then the fixtures, I can't remember the brand, but they're from A&E, and they are dynamite. They are
Yeah,
heavy
they
duty.
are.
They are just awesome. I wish I'd done this 10 years ago. I love this shower.
So on the other side, we've got this, you've added this.
It's a floating vanity,
Floating
and
vanity.
it's for storage. I have no storage.
And it's kind of lucite base.
Yeah, and it was kind of vibes, Art Deco vibes, and so I kind of leaned into that. And
And
the
this backless wallpaper.
The wallpaper's got Art Deco vibes, and the sort of
Yeah.
perpendicular, like angular lighting fixtures. And then my fixtures, these are vintage. I think from the 70s.
And they're towel racks.
It's a towel rack, and then they're koi, or in French it would be a dauphin. And I have this vintage vanity that's also very Art Deco, and I think it's from the 40s.
And some little bakelite pieces here
Uh-huh.
from like the 30s, right?
Yeah, those are my uncle's, and it's kind of sentimental.
Oh, this is
to me.
neat. This one right here. Oh, it's
That's a
little
candle, but that's bakelite, and then the top to this is like kind of scrimshaw, and this is a buffer. Like, who's buffing their nails anymore? I don't know, but it's fun, and I love this thing. Storage,
It's
more
great,
storage.
yeah. Such a great, it's a great bathroom.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it.
All right, so speaking of really interesting bathrooms, I love your master bathroom, excuse
Thank
me.
you.
And then this really cute powder room.
It's like a secret
Little
powder
secret
room.
powder room. Look
Yeah.
at this.
So cute, and that is Scalamandre wallpaper. In fact,
They're eggs.
Yes, they're little eggs, and Betsy put that up. That was here in 2007.
And when you say Betsy Gerard and Frank who lived here.
Right, and
So-
did a lot of this work.
And your fabulous chandelier.
Yes, again with the silk shades make
Uh-huh.
it. It's
Oh, it's
it's a
beautiful.
wooden tri-corner chandelier, but the silk shades are from circa